Trick.
Hi, Jane. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, good.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark Schillinger, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Hopefully you're not down in Haiti.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. I keep looking for an opportunity to go in there and take a look at those tanks, but the doors keep closing tighter and tighter. It's a real mess. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's.
when I heard the news this week, I definitely thought of your project, Mark. And hope you work
For
with
sure.
I think he was a good guy. I think he was actually trying to clean up some of the corruption. According to the people that I work with down there, you know, I think they pretty much know. It just depends on who you talk to, but I think he was a good guy.
Wow.
A benevolent dictator. Yeah. Been a while.
It's a shame.
It is. Young guy too.
Have
He
they
looks
said any
very-
more about the American that has been arrested? I haven't paid close attention.
Oh,
to
was
the
it? Oh, there was an American. Yes, you're right. I haven't heard. Actually, I heard a lot. Most of what I heard was on Newsmax last night. Rob Schmidt. He's late, like 10 or 11 at night. I don't know if anybody saw that, but he put a really nice, I don't know, good 5 minutes on Haiti, and he's been to Haiti. He's been doing some volunteer work in his life there, even. And it was pretty interesting. He did a nice job. But no, I haven't heard anything further on that guy, on the U.S. guy. Pretty crazy.
Well, Mark, thank you for that update. I actually was going to mention that during announcements. I think I'm also going to cover it just briefly, just in case someone didn't see the news. But it is after 12. We've had our breakout, and so let's see if I can properly share screen and get this show on the road. All right. Welcome everyone to the Rotary Club of Flint for July 9th, 2021. I am Kyle McCree. For about the next 10 minutes, unofficially your president for 21-22. But we'll make that official in a few minutes here with now past President Ray, who has one of the great titles in Rotary as past president.
Ready whenever you are, sir.
All right, so before we ring the bell, if you ever watch college football, there's a guest picker that comes in on college game day every morning, every Saturday morning, and picks the games. And so in that kind of spirit, we're gonna have an honorary bell ringer. And if you watch Jeopardy, you know that if the word is in quotation marks, that means that it's in the question or in the answer in this case. So the honorary bell ringer for July 9th, 2021 is NFL Hall of Famer, Super Bowl IV champion, and 1960 college football champion, the great linebacker defensive end, Bobby Bell. And Nick, I'm going to ask you a question. As our resident college football person. Nick,
Godleski.
Godleski. Thank you, Nick. Sorry about that. Nick, can you guess, or can you name for us what university Bobby Bell won the 1960 college football championship for?
Oh, I think for that season, he was with the Gophers of, what school might that be? Minnesota?
Yes. All right, so we will turn it over to Mr. Bell to ring the bell.
All right. That's nice.
Maybe start a meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the flag
to the flag
of the
of the
United
United
States
States of America
and to the
and
and to the
republic
republic for which it stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty,
with liberty and justice for all.
And I know we have Past District Governor Tanya Wolf joining us from across the bridge, and we cheer our Canadian friends in the Queen as well. The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do.
Is it fair to all
Is it the
Is it
concerned?
the truth?
Goodwill and better friendships?
Is it fair to all
Beneficial
concerned?
concern?
Will it
Will
build
it build
goodwill
goodwill and better friendships?
Will
Will it be
Will it be
beneficial
beneficial to all
to all
concerned?
concerned? And then is Lindsay Younger
Is
with
it
us?
Lindsay Younger? Oh, damn.
I don't think I saw Lindsay.
It's gotta be this one.
All right, well, at the utility, we talk about agility, and so I'm going to repurpose
Should
part
be
of
right
my
there with-
presentation. Our new Rotary International President, Shekhar Mehta, has a theme, and you see it at the bottom, serve to change lives. I was going to read this at the end of the meeting, but I'll make it our inspirational message. It's a short stanza. If you read this new edition of Rotary Magazine, it's on page 1, right as you turn it in, you open. And it says, the biggest gift we are given is the power to touch a life, to change, to make a difference in the circle of life. If we can reach out with our hand, heart, and soul, the magic will start to happen as the wheel begins to roll. Let's turn the wheel together so all humanity thrives. We have the power and the magic to serve to change lives. And so that's his background on our international theme for this Rotary year. And so that will serve as our inspirational message for today.
Excellent.
So next, under announcements, one announcement just to make, and you'll note when we get to installation that there is a asterisk next to Stu Kelly's name. We are going to install Stu as our treasurer, but Stu has actually accepted a different position with, I believe, an accounting firm in Traverse City. And so actually his last day of work here in the Flint area is today. And so Stu will be moving up to Traverse City, and he'll be leaving our club. He is going to work with the board and with Amy to wrap up our year-end financials, and will be able to help us. He'll be attending our board meeting virtually later this month as well. So we will install Stu, but then as he leaves the club and vacates that position with his work transition, the newly installed board will work through our bylaws to appoint a new treasurer for the club for this Rotary year. And I do want to thank past treasurer Becky Millsap, who has agreed to help as needed on an interim basis as well. Also under announcements, we heard a little bit from this from Mark Schillinger at the beginning of the meeting, but certainly our club has a relationship with the people of Haiti, particularly the Rotary Club of Patientville, with our Rotary project around safe drinking water for the people of that community. And we know that the island and nation of Haiti is going through political turmoil as the president was assassinated earlier this week. And so we ask that we keep the people of Haiti, and particularly the Rotarians that we know are doing great work on the ground in our thoughts and prayers as they continue to do that work in the midst of turmoil in their community. Are there any other announcements? Any updates on good and welfare from anyone?
Kyle, if I could have 30 seconds to talk about the CRIM.
Oh, yes, Mike, sorry, go ahead. Yep.
That's okay. In next week's presidential message will be the CRIM volunteer sheet. We need to have those people that are going to help on August the 28th to sign up by July 31st. And how you do that is included in the volunteer checklist that's going to be out next week. So hopefully it was a great time 2 years ago. Hopefully you have an opportunity to come help us out on the 31st or on the 28th. That's all.
Thank you, Mike. And we are looking forward to that. Will be a great opportunity for us to serve the community and for us as Rotarians to come together and enjoy some good company and hopefully some good refreshments as well as we're hanging out with the Rotarians from around our area as well.
Kyle, if you need help signing up for the 10-mile run, I can help you sign up for that.
Well, if you sign me up, I'll be in my Volt driving the 10 miles. I'll be moving quietly. They'll have the battery on at the gas, so it's safe. Are there guests to be welcomed? I actually have one guest that I'd like to take the liberty to welcome, Past District Governor Tanya Wolf, for joining us. As many of you know
This has
Tanya
gotta
for
be
her
plugged in.
Rotary service, but also
Right.
Tanya
Oh,
personally, as part of my Rotary experience, was my team leader for Group Study Exchange 2013. And so she is an unofficial sponsor of mine in Rotary and I think a big sister of mine in my Rotary journey. So thank you, Tanya, for joining us. I also saw Area 7 Assistant Governor Al Tucker joining us. Again, thank you, Al, for your support and your friendship to our club. Are there other guests to be welcomed? I don't think I see any, but thank you, Al. Thank you, Past District Governor Tanya, for joining us. And then I put on here for my first meeting, is there anything that the new president forgot before we go on to installation of officers? I see Mike Chafee smiling and laughing, so it must be okay, right? All right. So I'm going to turn it over for president and officer installation. Past President Ray Gist will do the presidential installation, and then I will come back and do the officer
Nothing to
installation
sell.
of the
What is it?
21-22 board.
I don't know.
Thank you very much. I think Bob
I
Sabilski's
don't
having some
know.
problems.
Yep.
But he does need to be muted.
All right. I muted everyone. Okay. So, Past President Ray, if you want to unmute, and then we can go again with the installation.
Okay, here we go. Today, we welcome President-elect Kyle McCree and the 2021-22 officers and board of directors of the Rotary Club of Flint and invite them to join me here at the podium. Well, virtually invite them. Kyle, you have been selected by the members of this club to guide its affairs during the coming year. You have been entrusted with an important responsibility that will help shape our club's future. It is my pleasure to administer the oath of office for the president of Rotary Club of Flint. Kyle, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Kyle McCree,
do solemnly pledge
do solemnly pledge
that I will faithfully execute the office of president
that I will faithfully execute the office of president
of the Rotary Club of Flint,
of the Rotary Club of Flint,
and that I will do to the best of my ability
and that I will do to the best of my ability
support the district governor and Rotary International,
support the district governor and Rotary International,
and that I will uphold the Constitution and bylaws of this club.
and that I will uphold the Constitution and bylaws of this club.
Fellow Rotarians, let us welcome the 108th president of the Rotary Club of Flint, Kyle McCree. Welcome.
Thank you.
And the
Thank
board
you
of
all. Thank you
directors,
very much.
did you want to go forward with
Yeah.
installing the board?
Yep, I will.
All right.
If the officers and directors for the 21-22 year will unmute themselves. Officers and directors, you have been elected to important positions in the administration of the Rotary Club of Flint. This is an indication of our esteem and confidence in all of you. We also believe that you will uphold the highest traditions of our club, that you will give the best of your ability to the furtherance of the interest of our club in the carrying forward of the object of Rotary. So I say to each of you, Will you fulfill the responsibilities of your office to the best of your abilities and in accordance with the constitutional documents of this club? If you will, please respond, I will.
I will.
I will.
I hereby declare the new officers and directors installed. And I want to give my personal thanks to the 21-22 board that you see before you. I have gotten to know each of these individuals through Rotary, through professional experiences, and through personal and social interactions. Looking forward to serving this club with all of you. Looking forward to being on this journey together with you. We normally would do the handoff of the gavel and the ceremonial ringing of the bell as the closing and ending of Ray's mandate and my mandate, but we will dispense with that given that we are in the virtual environment and Ray is about 10 miles away from me. And so handing off the gavel will be a little difficult.
A long reach.
Yeah.
It's ironically the same distance as the Crim, Kyle. I can help you sign up for it.
And I will note, as I've referenced before, that I drove to Ray's office. I didn't run. All right. Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting during the inspirational message, the theme for the 21-22 Rotary year is Serve to Change Lives. The president of Rotary for 21-22, if you've seen the new magazine, is President Sheikh Armada. He is from the Rotary Club. I have to look at this because I only remember the first half. He is from the Rotary Club of Calcutta, Mahanagar in India. There are great articles on President Mehta and what he is desiring for Rotary for 21-22. So I'm gonna let you read those and learn more about him in your own time because we all have the magazine. I'm going to attempt to follow, as I was telling Amy Vanderput, the rules that they tell young preachers on their first sermon. They tell them to stand tall to be seen, speak loudly to be heard, and sit down to be appreciated. And so I'm going to try to follow that and not keep you the entire hour today. I've had the pleasure of working with past presidents, Mike and George, along with President-elect Elizabeth and Vice President Anne Marie, working on a 2021 to 2024 roadmap and strategic plan for our club. Not going to present to you the entire roadmap. I'm just going to talk to you about a few things that we are working towards because we've shared a bit of this with the board, but not the full document to be approved. And actually, we're meeting again tomorrow. We've been meeting for the last 4 months or so. The desire, though, is that from my year to Elizabeth's year and Anne Marie's year, that we're having consistency and that we're working together. There might be things that I'm starting this year, trying out, but really the desire is for them to come to fruition in Elizabeth or Anne Marie's year. We believe that working together, we can have the right plan that works for our entire club and helps our club further the objective Rotary. So just a few things to remind you about who we are, what we do, and why we do them. The mission of Rotary. We provide service to others, promote integrity, and advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through the fellowship of business, professional, and community leaders. It's important when we start out a new year to kind of ground ourselves. The great football coach Vince Lombardi would open up his training camp for the Green Bay Packers every year with a simple sentence: "Gentlemen, this is the football." Of course, they knew what a football was, but he wanted to start with ground zero, start at step one, and so we're going to do that with our club as well. Our vision, the vision of Rotary. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. I think all three of these are so important. We've heard just today from our fellow Rotarian Mark talking about what's happening in Haiti and the actions that this club is taking to create lasting change in that country. One common thing that actually the clubs of Area 7 have with our new Rotary president is actually avoidable blindness. Avoidable blindness is an activity that the Burton Club takes a leadership role on, but the clubs of our area support. And RI President Mehta actually is involved in an avoidable blindness project in India as well. We think about in our communities. Certainly, the Rotary Club of Flint is making lasting change in our communities. We're going to talk more about how we can do that and how we can do that in different ways. If you were reading the news, you saw that the EPA administrator was actually in Flint this week. Well, where was he at? The EPA administrator was at the community service center on the north side of Flint that this club supported, and that has the reading room named after the Rotary Club of Flint. So as he was walking in to see the water lab, I know that he walked past the Rotary Club of Flint reading room because I've made that same tour, and our reading room is on the way to the water lab that they were doing their visit in. As we were in downtown Flint, we see the beautification that we add impact to. We see it on the cultural center as well. And we've seen it during this COVID crisis and during the water crisis, our club supporting and giving deeds and dollars to support change in our community. And lastly, I'll say in ourselves. I can say as a Rotarian for the last 7 years, but I'll add really being with Rotary for 8 years, counting my group study experience. I've seen Rotary make an impact on myself, whether that's having friends like Tanya and also people like Erica Engel and Colin, who were Canadian. I don't think I had any Canadian friends before I joined Rotary, and I can say that I do now because of that experience. Getting to know many of you, whether it's in these breakout rooms before Zoom meetings or around the table at the food bank or just out and about in community, becoming a better person, becoming a better citizen in our community because of our Rotary experience. That's a vision that we can achieve together. So those two you see a lot. These next few items are things that maybe we don't always talk about as much in our club, but I think that are important for us. The RI values, which I believe that our board will affirm as values for our club as well. We see differently. Our multidisciplinary perspective helps us see challenges in unique ways. We think differently. We apply leadership and expertise to social issues and find unique solutions. We act responsibly. Our passion and perseverance create lasting change. We make a difference at home and around the world. Our members can be found in your community and across the globe. When I think about the Rotary Club of Flint, we see differently, we think differently, but ultimately we act responsibly and we make a difference. This club has a lot to be proud of and also some work to do as well. We're good, but there's no reason we can't be better. And that's something that we can do together. This statement is among the newest of the items from RI, and this is a DEI statement. For those of you who don't know, that's diversity, equity, and inclusion. As a global network that strives to build a world where people can unite and take action to create lasting change, Rotary values diversity and celebrates the contributions of people of all backgrounds, regardless of their age, ethnicity, race, color, abilities, religion, socioeconomic status, culture, sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity. And I believe that's true for our club as well. If you think back and look at the names who are on the board of directors for the 21-22 Rotary year, we have an incredibly diverse board across many of these factors that you see here on this DEI statement. You have diversity in ways that you can see and diversity in ways that you can't see. And that's very, very important for the health of our club and our ability to serve and change lives. And the newest one of these statements, this is new as of July 1st, so last week, and that's number 7 on the Rotary's area of focus. In each one of these, our club has made an impact. We think about peace building and conflict prevention. As I saw as we joined our Rotarian Jane Odell, the work that she does, the work that many Rotarians do in peace building right here at home and conflict prevention within our communities and our schools. My dog has conflict with the sorry, Murphy likes to join me, but Murphy does not like delivery people. So he has conflict with the delivery people of UPS apparently. So disease prevention and treatment. We talked about avoidable blindness earlier and our work with the Burton Club and other clubs in our area around that effort. Water, sanitation, and hygiene. Certainly you have to tell the Rotarians of Flint anything about the importance of water, whether that's in Haiti or right here at home. We've been on the front line of this issue. Maternal and child health. That's an issue that actually is dear to us right here in Flint. Women of color in Genesee County have higher risks of maternal illness and death as they go through the maternal processes. That's an issue that we can make a difference on right here at home and abroad. Basic education and literacy. We just talked about the reading room that our club was involved with our grants. And then of course, community economic development, our placemaking, which is what our statues in downtown Flint really are. It's called placemaking, where you create the environment and space for people to want to do economic development. And the newest area is the environment. And that's one that I believe that we can make a difference. We can make an impact on right here at home. And so finally, this is just a preview of the three-pronged strategic priority focus for the 21 to 24 year. The three areas for us to work on as priorities for our club are service and stewardship, Rotary engagement, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And what's interesting, whether you read the article from RI President Mehta or even myself and Pets with our new district governor, who by the way is right here from Genesee County, Aaron Shanky, the first thing you always hear in a Rotary training, if it's an official Rotary training, if it's Rotary Leadership Institute, membership. People always talk about membership, right? But you'll notice you don't see membership as one of our strategic priorities. You don't see attracting members. You don't see retaining members. You don't see developing Rotarians to be stronger members. Why is that? We believe if we achieve service and stewardship, if we achieve engagement with Rotarians, and if we continue a focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion, that will lead to member attraction, member retention, and member development. Sometimes we talk about numbers. We really need to think about people. People is what will lead to the numbers that we may want to see. So with that, I'm just going to talk about a few other ways, because as a new president, it would be shame on me not to talk about some ways that you can continue to support our club. And one of those is, of course, through the Rotary Charitable Foundation as you shop at Amazon. Go to smile.amazon.com and you can help Rotary in Flint as you shop. Also, as you shop at Kroger, you can enroll Flint Rotary as your community rewards charity. And finally, two programs that aren't foreign to many Rotarians here in Flint, and that's the Paul Harris Fellow and the Jack Hamady Fellow. The Paul Harris Fellow is support of Rotary International's endowment, the Jack Hamady Fellow in support of our club's endowment. And so with that, I want to open it up if there are questions from any of the members on the next Rotary year. As I mentioned in my Rotary message, there are some things we don't have the exact answers on, particularly when we have our first in-person meeting. We're working on that with the food bank, anticipate that to be in the fall. I'm not sure if that is going to be mid-September, mid-October. We're working with them to determine that date. But look forward to working with you all, recognizing that some things won't be the same, but many things will, and we're going to try to keep important things that we love about our club and move forward together and serve to change lives. So I'll open the floor up for questions and feel free to just unmute yourself, and if not, we'll close the meeting up. Any questions?
Kyle, I don't have a question, but I see Lynetta's on the call, and yesterday I received an invitation to the dedication for the Crowdy Center at my community college.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Lynetta, can you tell us about that?
Oh, sure. Yes. Hello, everybody. On August 31st, we're going to have an official opening for the Lenore Crowdy Family Life Center. It'll start at 10 o'clock, and we're going to plan a full day of activities So you should know too, there'll be a guest speaker. Her name is Stephanie Land, and she wrote a book called MAID, M-A-I-D, which really epitomizes what we find our students who have to work, sometimes single parent, sometimes without any health insurance. So she epitomizes the plight of the student that we see today. She'll speak at noon, then she'll speak again in the evening. So for those who can come between 10 and noon, we'll have a full complement of activities. And then for those who need to come again, or who cannot get off midday, we will start again at 4 and we'll conclude about 7. And so the other special treat is that we have a mobile training unit that will be also christened that day. And that is for those of you who drive the highway, you see those long trucks, you know, that you try to hurry and get around. Well, we have a mobile training lab that we can retrofit according to whatever academic discipline we want to teach. So please come out August 31st. I hope you saw the Hold the Date postcard, and I put on there one of her favorite sayings, and that is, it's marvelous, darling. So I hope I've answered your questions, and August 31st will be a great day to come and see everything. Food pantry, Ellen's Closet, and then of course, all the many services that we have for students. Those of us who have a car, we can drive to go get our tax prepared. We can drive to go get food. We're going to make this a one-stop shopping effort for students to keep them to either the four-year institution or to gainful employment. Thank you.
Thank you, Renetta. Thank you, Mike, for making sure that we're all aware of that. We will get that information into the bulletin, and also we'll mention it as we get closer in the weekly message as well. When Ms. Crowdy was certainly beyond a long-time Rotarian, a lifetime friend of so many in our community, and it's great that our club has been able to support the project at the college named in her honor.
And I will apologize to all of my Rotarians that you don't see me on camera because I'm driving. And so I'm trying to listen to you and watch the road.
No problem. We understand that. Be safe, Renetta. Any questions either about next year for Rotary, or questions about the Crowdy Center? Or
I don't have any questions either, but I just wanted to say thank you, Kyle, for taking the reins into another Rotary year, and I'm excited to see where we go in this next 12 months. And thank you to Ray for seeing us through the last year. I think two wonderful examples of what it means to be a Rotarian and a leader.
Thank you, Elizabeth. You know, as the Godfather said, Elizabeth also has selfish motives. She wants to make sure I don't drive the car off the road and leave her in the ditch. So, but no, thank you for your help along the way. And Elizabeth and I were able to go actually be part of a Rotary training experience with Rotarians from Tennessee. It's one of those virtual things that we talk about. We'll talk about some other ways that we can connect throughout the year with Rotarians from around the world, around shared experiences and common experiences, things we want to learn and want to understand. But these virtual, it's not the same as the in-person, and certainly we've enjoyed some of the makeup sessions with Rotarians on holiday Fridays, but there are some benefits to these virtual sessions. One of them being our ability to have meetings a little bit more on Saturdays as people are coming and going, and also being able to connect with Rotarians from around the country and around the world as well. All right, well, I want to thank Lindsay in her absence. I know we'll get her booked again for what I'm sure would be a great inspirational message. Certainly want to thank Dawn for taking meeting notes. I want to encourage you to join us next week when our speaker will be our own Flint Rotarian, Todd Slisher, who's the Executive Director of Sloan Museum and the Flint Institute of Science and History. And if you're wondering, what is the Flint Institute of Science and History? I encourage you to tune in to the presentation next week. I will have to let you know that President Ray got exactly 1 week off. I will actually be out of town. I think I may be able to join the meeting, but I won't be in a position to lead the meeting So President Ray got 1 week off, and then he's back in the saddle again. But thank you, past President Ray, for your leadership and your willingness to continue to serve as well. And so I was going to close with RI President Mehta's little poem about why he came up with Serve to Change Lives, but you've already heard it. So I'm not going to repeat it, and I'm just going to leave you with the charge of serve to change lives. And I didn't put the bell at this part of the presentation, but imagine the great bell that you heard earlier in your head. Everyone close your eyes. Imagine that great bell. Meeting is adjourned. All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Kyle,
Stop
for
sharing.
taking over as our president.
Thank you.
Great job, Kyle.
Thanks, Ray, and thanks, Kyle, moving forward.
Thanks to
Thank
both
you all.
Ray and Kyle.